Chairman Miller. Here. Vice Chairman Pruitt.
Here.
Mr. Ferguson.
Here.
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 Ms. Rollins.
Is it? Okay. It looks like we have a quorum. A quorum for this group is 4 members. And I especially want to welcome Ms. Irvin, our newest commission member, coming into the spot vacated by Gene Davis. So we appreciate your service, and we're excited and look forward to working with you. If you want to say a few words, tell us a little bit about yourself, or take the mic and do that.
My name is Stephanie Irvine. We've been living in Prattville for about 7 years now. We've been downtown Prattville. My boys go to school here, and so we love it. I've always loved downtown.
Thank you. And my prior mic was constantly on, so I'll have to remember to press the button. Okay, next on the agenda is the minutes from our previous meeting. So these were, as usual, per routine, mailed out in advance. I think, commissioners, if you've had an opportunity to look at those, I would entertain either comments or a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And those are approved unanimously. So the next item on the agenda is committee reports. And I take it we don't have any. So, and is there any old business to come before the commission? Nope. And any new business? So I know we've got one item on the agenda, and we will go ahead and move into the consideration of that item. So is it, which one of you is presenting? Okay.
Hello, Bria Hudson, planner. So here we have that one, okay, PowerPoint didn't save. But here we have that proposed renovations and installments. This was divided in 8 items so it can be easier to vote. So here we have just that surrounding location and that property at 219. So the first one up is the windows. The applicant is proposing to replace all 15 windows due to the current condition and the inconsistent design throughout the structure. They are also proposing to remove the existing siding from a covered window. Let me refer to that. As well as to widen up that kitchen window to the rear of the property. Next up is the doors. The applicant is proposing to restore the entrance door to its original state and to install a glass window in the opening. So here we have that proposed door where it's going to be like an example of what they're proposing to do with the existing door currently. Next up, we have that existing back door. They're proposing to renovate the boarded up door and restore it back to its original state as well. I decided to on the slides, but y'all still can vote on it per item. So I put 2 and 4 together since it's the same location, and it's dealing with that side entrance door. They are proposing to cover the non-historic side door with vinyl siding and to demo the existing non-historic awning and porch, which we have a visual of. Next up, we have that porch and deck. First up would be that front porch. The proposed front porch would be renovated and expanded to align with the right side extension of that structure. The measurements of that proposed porch would be 7 by 22.3, and to install planks as columns. And here are those visuals, examples of what the applicant is proposing. Next up, we have that deck will be at the rear of that property by the back door. They will use the same Trex decking materials, which is in y'all packet, as the proposed front porch. The applicant can go more in detail about the measurements and additional details with that rear deck. Next up, we have that driveway and walkway. First up will be that driveway. The applicant is proposing a circular driveway with a bun design using red rock pavers with burnt umber accents. Please note that the applicant has had a scheduled visit with the city engineer and will have to submit a site plan to be reviewed and approved before construction. So here we have a visual of that proposed driveway, which will be circular around the rear, and then go out on both ends of that lot. And then this is another visual of their proposed driveway and how it would be designed as well. Next up would be the walkway. The proposed brick walkway will lead up to that front entrance using the same materials and color scheme as that driveway. They also are utilizing existing bricks from the interior of the structure as well. So this is how it currently is. And so these are just some examples of how they would design their walkway. Next up, we have that accessory structure that would be placed in the rear of the property by the driveway. Here's just a visual where that proposed shed will be located. And here are some examples and visuals of what the applicant is proposing, how that shed will look. Next up, we have paint. So the applicant is proposing to paint that vinyl siding the same color scheme of the current structure, just due to rust and poor condition, which you can see in those examples of the structure. Next up, we have that proposed lighting. The applicant is proposing to install lighting fixtures on the front and the rear of the structure, and also a lamp post by the proposed walkway. And here are just some of those visuals of what it will look like. They are also doing a few more renovations, but it doesn't have to be reviewed by the commission, which is just repainting already painted surfaces, which would be like that foundation and other areas of that structure, a new HVAC unit, and just in-kind replacements just surrounding that structure that's in poor condition. And here's just a visual of one of the things that they're doing, which would be the painting those already painted surfaces, so like the foundation and things in that nature. Do y'all have any questions for me?
I guess it will be for the applicant, so, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go all the way to one.
I have a quick question. The porch and the deck are different, right? But you have
Yes.
them together? So the porch is for the front and the deck is for the back, correct? Okay. All
But
right.
since they was, I guess, using the same materials, and I just joined them together. But if y'all would like, y'all can separate them into separate items if it's confusion or complications with those proposed developments.
Thank you.
No problem.
Clarifying.
Okay. Any commissioners with any questions for Ms. Hudson? Okay. So, Ms. Davis, as petitioner, this is the opportunity for you to come and address the commission.
Of course. So we bought this house in June of last year, and really excited. Has really great bones, but obviously, as you can see, it's been in disrepair for some years, almost 30 now. So we're looking to get the roof replaced, the windows replaced, and uniform all the way around to kind of match the historic area. Have already found a contractor who's dealt with historical areas before in Montgomery, and they can do no grids, they can do grids, they can do grids on the outside. We have lots of options depending on what y'all feel is best for those. The door is going to be sanded down and varnished and the glass added to that. Like she said, the front porch, there should be an example in your packets of what we would like to do that with the brick stairs in the front. And I mean, it's up to you guys really in terms of the way that the planks lay. Some of the houses downtown have them laying perpendicular to the door, and some of them are parallel to the door. I don't know if that matters. The Trex material is, I guess it's more like a plastic, but it's stamped and painted in such a way to replicate the look of wood. But it's far more durable and will make the structure look better for longer, essentially, whereas wood would rot and deteriorate faster. The columns that are in the example are the ones that I would prefer because they were on a similar structure, but if that's not right for some reason, we can definitely have a discussion about that. The back deck will go, hopefully will go the width of the house on that back side, and then out about 20 feet or so, I think, is what we measured it off at. Let's see, what else do I have? There is another shed in that area, and I didn't get a chance to take a picture of that, but it looks similar to the ones that were demonstrated on the PowerPoint. And then that side door and the side porch, those are remnants from when the house was split into two, I believe, and so that that made there be two entrances on either side of the house, and there is a clear gap between those bricks and the house, so that's why I don't think that it is historic by any means to keep that there. And the awning is definitely 70s style, so I think that covers everything that Bria didn't say.
So is the structure, was it added on to, I know the porch and all, but was it added on to over time? Can you tell with
The rear of the porch, the rear of the house that you can see right now,
that back left side?
yeah, the less sloped roof, that
Yeah.
whole area used to be a porch, and they enclosed that area.
Okay.
but it's all part of the original foundation is what it looks like, because I can't tell a difference between the cinder block, like all the way around.
Okay. So, any questions from the commission at this point in time? And you're going to be on standby because those usually come up in the conversations. So.
Do you know what historic district in Montgomery allowed them to put in vinyl windows?
I do not, but I could find out.
Okay.
Because the pictures that are in there are from their installation
Okay.
in Montgomery.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and, if you want to have a seat for a minute, call for a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience? All right. So we'll close the public hearing.
The other thing I forgot to say is that I do have an example of those pavers for the driveway
Okay.
if you all want to see it or touch it or whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think that we're going to go through these. They're broken out into 8. And again, you combine the 2 porches, correct? So the first item is the windows. Any discussion regarding the windows?
I think at this point, we all know my stance on vinyl windows.
And since the petitioner is new, and we have a new commissioner, we may not.
Well, it does state in our guidelines that historic windows and their frames shall be retained and maintained. Damaged or deteriorated windows shall be repaired before they are replaced. And that, you know, we contemporary materials such as vinyl and other high gloss materials are generally discouraged. New and replacement windows shall be of a compatible style, configuration, and material of the historic windows found in the structure. Replacement windows shall match the appearance of the original window to the greatest extent possible. So,
I think what we're talking about is the preference is wood if you had wood. So, and you can come back to the podium if you would. If you would, no pun intended. So is there, I mean, did you explore wooden windows? Is a possibility?
Yes, I did actually, and the contractor I worked with says there's only one manufacturer he knows of that deals with wood windows, and they're really hard to get a hold of, and it's gonna be like super pricey. I mean, windows are already expensive, but trying to repair old wood weighted windows, and these are like really bad, like the grids are falling out on most of them.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I clarify, it's like replacing with new wood, not trying to, windows, not trying to, you know, rehab the existing.
Right.
I mean, it was my question at least, so that part, did you explore or research?
Yes, that was the contractor is pointing me to a business that did them, but it would be cost prohibitive as far as getting the structure done and in budget. And the vinyl windows, like I said, in the house itself, there are windows that have grids, and there's windows that don't have grids. I have no idea which is the more historic. This company has the ability to do either, and they can also put grids on the outside of the windows, so to make it look more historic, because that's typically how a wood window shows, is that you can actually see and touch the grids on the outside of the windows. There's also currently storm windows that have been added, so we'd be removing those as well, because they obviously are not historic at all. And so in some of those cases, we would have to take the entire window out anyway, with that storm window being over it, because the hole is different. Are there other applicants that have come before this commission about windows, and do you guys have suggestions if vinyl's not an option besides wood?
In my experience, I've worked with Otaga Glass, and they won't put anything besides wood in downtown because they know it's part of a historic district. But that's been my only experience when I've lived downtown. But I am really excited to see something happening with this house. I used to live around the corner. I'm on 3rd Street, so I'm really excited that something is happening with this one. I've wanted it forever.
I've heard a lot of people say that, and I don't know how it happened. It was just right place, right time. I'm sorry.
May I ask a question? Are we allowed to ask what contractor you're working with?
Yeah, you can ask.
has-
A&M Windows is the person that I came in contact that was recommended to me by one of my friends.
Have they evaluated how many are salvageable and how many are not salvageable?
No, that we were trying to get through this first and find out what we could do.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I photographed every single window that is in the building, so you should be able to see mostly how they're set up and how deteriorated they are.
Well, and I guess I would just, looking at these window pictures, as far as preferences go, does appear to be a split between just the simple double hung over the ones with grids. My preference or my thought process is to go all one way or the other and not have, multiple different styles on the house. My experience is that the simple double hung is probably the oldest.
Okay, so no grids, is that what you're
With
saying?
no grids.
No grids?
But
Okay.
again, there might be other people that have more professional opinions than that, but that seems to be,
Okay.
at least on my current house that I have. We have a similar situation where the older windows are just like that. And then later they come and did the vertical divider. And then this even looks like after that they did, grids up there and anyways. So that would be my preference on that.
I would be perfectly okay with simple.
And the ones across the back look obviously like a later vintage, and they seemed like they were metal and they opened up sideways.
That is
So,
correct. Yeah, those are all metal framed windows.
And without getting too far into the logistics of it, I know it seems like on previous ones that we have had a split where they were able to keep some original for like the front porch. And then they didn't have enough to do, and had new windows on the back. I don't know if that's an option from, where you see it from the sidewalk would be the old wood windows.
I don't know how many of them are salvageable in terms of being able to see it from the right-of-way, because those would be the only 3 sets of windows right there that would then not be facing the right-of-way. Unless you're talking about just the front facade, like the primary. Okay, so that's, I think it's 2.
Well, and I believe that these aren't salvageable. I just, preference is not for vinyl, specifically in a wood frame house like this, because, they're going to get stuck and it's going to be, they're going to need to be, they're not going to be functional.
you might want to explain that, because I think you educated us on that at a recent meeting, and that might be beneficial for you to hear as well.
Well, it's just that, wood's a natural material and it expands and contracts with the weather. If you've lived in historic homes before, sometimes the doors are a little bit harder to open at different times of the year. And it's because that wood expands and contracts. Vinyl doesn't expand and contract. So the wood's going to expand and contract with the weather around it, and that vinyl's going to just stay rigid. And it can cause for some real operational issues.
Well, right now, none of them open, so
Understand.
anything would be better than that.
Yeah, and I've not rehabbed the old house like some of you more experienced folks in that arena, but, it just seems like there are, manufacturers of wooden windows. And I'm thinking Weathersill, you know, which, and ours was a new construction, but we got the double-clad wood windows, so the inside is wood and the outside is clad. So, you know, I don't know if I'm trying to ask if you did extensive research, you know, in terms of, because it just seems like, am I on track there? I mean, does anybody else know? That wood windows are available, maybe not as cheap as, you know, the other materials, but, and whether that ends up being on the front or, you know, just all the visible aspects of the house, but,
Yeah. I mean, I would agree, wood is definitely available, and my, other question would be, what is the state, is this a picture of those back windows right here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because those are,
They are like rusted all the way out.
right, yeah, no, I understand. But that metal, while it's not original to the house, it's probably 60s, 50s, something like that.
The previous owners bought the house in the early 70s, so.
And they did it?
And they did it, yeah.
Okay.
so, would you be willing to do a little more research on that aspect, the availability of wooden windows?
I can. I would need to know, like, are we talking about just the front, or are we talking about all of them, or somewhere in between?
I think the visible aspects of the house is really, you know, when we talk about the front, and that, I think Mr. Ferguson's description was when we had encountered a previous petitioner, and they were, you know, similar to you, they were all beyond repair, essentially, except for the ability to, what was it, to save those, was it 2 out of, was this the crisis pregnancy center we're talking about?
The rehab for the front.
So to, you know, do what they could with the existing ones, and then we required wood on the other visible aspects of that one, trying to do this from memory. But any thoughts from the commission? Is that the right track, that it would be the visible windows?
That is the precedent that was set.
Yeah.
So that would be on the primary and secondary sides? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. But not the tertiary side?
And help me, what do you mean by tertiary?
The
back.
The back.
Yeah, back. Because you got 2 secondary sides then, right? Or
Yes.
it's one of them, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be the front and the 2 sides. So if you would be willing to do that, and bring that information, you know, back to us, then maybe that's the direction we need to go on this first one.
Oh, could we make a motion, or what's the thought process if she was able to keep original wood for the 2 or 3 front ones, and then get some kind of approval for the remainder? Or do you want to see her back with all of it?
Yeah, because the difference in what you talked about and what I'm talking about maybe is this 2 sides.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless, make,
the primary and secondary, besides, and you're just saying the primary,
Yeah, well, and ultimately, I mean, when you do primary and secondary, you just said 3/4 of the house, so
Yeah.
that's not helping with cost or, you know, means and methods of it.
so if you didn't have anything salvageable for the front 2, and you're talking about from existing windows, correct?
Or just to try to maintain some historic,
Yeah, material, so even if they were new, you know, I would like to at least have that research, and I'm like you, I know they're gonna be more expensive, but to what extent, you know, and if it's not just totally out of bounds, you know, we could construct a motion in terms of good faith effort. I mean, she seems pretty you know, like you want to do the right thing, which we appreciate.
Yes,
Some
yes.
folks don't, so.
If I could also get a decision about grids, no grids, that kind of thing, that would be helpful for my
Yeah.
research.
And let me just throw out a couple other thoughts or questions. Is this was this a contributing home or non-contributing for the, do we know that?
We didn't see anything.
So we researched, what is it, 1987 survey. I forgot the last, 2023. But we couldn't find it. So maybe when it got split into a duplex, the address changed, but it wasn't anything in our files that had, it listed with those dates.
And the thought process that I'm kind of taking everybody on that is, and not to be critical of your home that's going to be beautiful, but, you know, it's got siding that's been there for who knows how many years, that's not original. And so we're kind of like saying, hey, we want wood windows, but hey, we also, yeah. And so with it being a non-contributing, I think where my heart and thought process is on this is, thank you for taking on such a massive project. And as a commissioner, we want to try to do everything we can to balance the history with not being overzealous with the, you know, the requirements.
I'm sorry, I clicked on it. So I have a question. So she would still have to submit, construction plans with stuff that admin would have to review and engineering department. Once she submit those plans, and then I can dive a little bit deeper to see if we can find something, that has those years listed, which I would like an email or be presented at the next meeting.
Well, and at least for me, I guess I was kind of going down the road of, hey, we're worried about trying to get wood original windows with aluminum or vinyl siding next to them. So and no, I don't believe that roof to be original either, just
No,
from,
it's not.
you know, how, yep, obviously. And so, so anyways, I guess I'm just kind of offering that as, hey, I'm open and willing to, you know, make a motion to approve some windows that, you know, to try to move it on, unless somebody felt strong enough that they wanted to, you know, talk about this over multiple months.
Well, and I'll say that that section of Northington is cut out of the National Register District because there's only like 2 historic homes on that. You know, if you look, there are a lot of mid-century, which if we were to update it, could be added, but that whole block is, you know, aside from your house and I think like one other, is all like 1960 and later, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a mishmash of different styles
Yeah.
along that street for sure.
So, and I think Mr. Ferguson makes some very, you know, good points. So I'm sort of predicting where you're going with your, if you want to.
Well, and I guess just to get any input from the commissioners in regards to grids, no grids, you know, my preference would probably be the double hung, no grid. Does anybody have any comments on either of those?
I think that would be fine.
I make a motion that we approve item number 1 for windows as submitted with the caveat that it's a simple double hung, no grids.
As submitted, so you're not going to include any wood aspect? Okay. All right, we have a motion to approve the item number 1 for the windows with the inclusion of no grid double hung format. Any discussion on the motion?
I get what you're saying about that there's vinyl siding on it, but there is still wood underneath if the vinyl siding was, installed correctly, that if someone wanted to go back one day and remove the vinyl siding and, patch up and all that kind of stuff, that historic material is still there, it's just covered by something else.
And I understand that. They would also have the ability to put wood windows in at that point as well.
It's true.
I'm personally a fan, okay, so it's a 1930s farmhouse, right?
No, ma'am, it was built in 1906.
Okay, tax records is saying that it's 1930. So where did we get 1906?
I have original deeds.
Okay. Okay. Well, never mind. I was about to say I'm a fan of the double, but if it's 1906, then you're right. So,
I mean, it's the 1930s, of course.
do what?
It was around then.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was the 1930s if you're going to go with double hung, I was joking.
I might have to ask you to explain that. I'm not that quick. So 1906 versus 1930 relative to the windows.
So in 1930, it was a split window where kind of like the waters is what this house is supposed to look like. In Montgomery, if you're familiar with the waters, with the pane windows. 1906, there was more prevalent where it didn't have the split. So, I mean, either one, I'm good with.
So you're talking about 2/2. Yeah. Versus.
1/1. All right, any further discussion on the motion before us? All right, all in favor
Well,
of,
we don't have a second yet, do we?
I thought we did.
No,
Oh,
we
never
don't have a
mind,
second.
I'm sorry.
I'm really torn over here.
Well, that's why I was suggesting maybe if we could break it down into pieces and
Well,
approve.
we're doing just the windows right now, right?
But,
We're doing item number 1.
right, but if we do just grids or no grids, can we get a decision on just that?
Yeah, his motion on the floor, it's presented is 1/1, no grid, so
But regardless of material is what I'm talking about.
that's his motion. As you requested, the windows you requested it with the grid, with no grid.
Okay, but we're not deciding material.
It won't matter. If it doesn't second, then you'll have to come up with some windows.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, we'll entertain another motion.
Yeah, but the motion on the floor is your request as written with the specification of no grids.
Okay,
So, and we're talking, but we don't have a second on that motion yet.
This isn't
so,
the final.
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, I understand. It's a process.
So we are awaiting a second.
I'll second, no grid.
Second, you second? All right, we have a motion and a second on I'm sorry, we have a motion and a second to approve the request as written with the addition of of 1/1 windows, no grids. So the motion and second have been made. Now we're for any further discussion prior to taking a vote. Okay, and remind me, we've got 5 commissioners. The vote passes with how many? Is it a simple majority? 3? Is it 3?
I thought it would be 3.
I thought it was 3 of those present, yeah. Majority of the who's present as long as we have a quorum, yeah. Just wanted each commissioner to realize this is gonna be a whatever. Okay. So, all in favor of the motion to accept the item number 1 is written with the no grids, signify by raising your right hand. All right, and that motion passes. You voted
Yeah.
us 4-1, so all opposed? 4-1. Okay, we're going to move to item number 2. And item number 2 is doors. And I am glad you're rehabbing the front doors. I told you I went and toured the outside just prior to this meeting, and that is a very handsome front door.
It is, and
So-
the lock still works. I had a locksmith actually come in and make a second key because the one that we have is original, and it's very worn, and so, but I'm very excited.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So any thoughts, any discussion about the doors, motion?
It's a beautiful door, and if you want to throw it away, I will take it immediately. That would be my motion, but I don't think I will technically do that. I will make a motion to approve restoration of the front door as submitted.
Well, there's no back door to restore. There would be installing a door because it doesn't exist currently, but the opening was there at some point.
Did I see a picture of the frame around, like that you could see where the door was? Or was that just the window, it's the old window? I can't
Oh, it's in
remember.
there.
No, the old one. Yes, yeah, that. Okay.
That's the interior, yeah. So I'm sorry, there is a door there, but,
It's wall off on the outside?
yes,
Yeah, okay. So this one, you'd put a new door in, right?
that's correct.
Yeah, okay. And this is for the back?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying
It'll,
to-
it'll go out onto the deck
Right.
that's in the back, or that will be.
Do you have an example of what that door will look like, or did I miss it?
No, I didn't even think about that because it was on the tertiary side.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
But
you're
if there
okay.
needs to be stipulations as to the type of door, what it, glass, no glass, or we can work with that.
I just didn't know if you had. Do you have something in mind?
No, not off the top of my head. Obviously not something ugly.
And I just want to be clear, the comment, I guess staff comment was to renovate the boarded up back door to its original condition, but you're talking about a new door
Yes,
on the back, okay.
that door is not functional.
Yeah, I got it. I was just wanting to clarify what is in our packet.
Sorry, by original, I just meant to put a door back in there as there
Yeah.
originally was at some point before it was boarded up.
So, can I entertain a motion?
I would make a motion that we approve the doors as presented. I think that removing the side door, it wasn't original to the home, and then restoring the front door that everyone loves, I think is wonderful. And I don't have a problem with the back door because it is on the back side of the home, so it's not visible. So that is my motion.
So we have a motion to approve the item number 2 for the doors as presented.
That's second.
And a second. Any further discussion on the motion to approve item number 2 as presented? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay, and that passes 5-0. Item number 3 is the porch and deck. And this is front and back. I've got a question. The front, I think the pictures in your description would be covered, and the back would be open air
Correct.
deck.
Correct.
Okay.
I use those terms because I had to look it up. What's the difference? The porch is covered, a deck is not. And all the other historic homes in the area do seem to have those front stairs in a variety of materials. Some of them are concrete, some of them are brick. I think brick looks prettier, but if you guys are wedded to concrete, then, you know, and we're hoping that those steps will then also match the sidewalk going up to the city sidewalk, or the walkway, I guess we can call it, going up to the sidewalk.
Is the layout, as far as the stairs coming down, are you changing that, or are you still coming in from the side?
No, changing it to the front,
Front,
because that's
so-
what all the other
Yeah,
houses
yeah,
have.
yeah. I was about to say, from my experience, that's been
Yeah.
something that.
That's
that
why I
they
think
have-
I don't think this porch is original either.
Yeah.
Are you gonna just like try and use the same bricks and just reorient them, or are you getting brand new everything?
There should be enough bricks from the interior chimney to complete the sidewalk and the steps. So they would be more than 100-year-old bricks, hopefully using on that.
But you are gonna take out the steps that are here. You're not just gonna add a second, like, front stair.
No, no, no. So all of that would be covered because we want to extend the porch all the way to the side of the house and then all the way to the front where those two windows are.
Oh.
Which is similar to other houses in the area that have this set up.
So you basically square off the front.
Yes.
There's a layout on the very back that I found helpful.
I thought I included a picture of one of the other houses that was similar, but
Yeah,
I guess I
the one
didn't.
with the drive.
Yeah,
Yep.
that one, yeah.
Thank you.
So where would so in that picture right here, where would the stairs be on the front porch? Right in front of the door? Yes, ma'am. Okay, all right.
Well,
But if
there-
you want it centered versus not on the door,
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Whatever.
just wanted to, I just check and see.
yeah.
you're gonna disassemble a chimney?
We are in the process of disassembling a chimney that did not go all the way through the roof.
Yeah, and I would just caution you, I've been there, done that with 2 chimneys, and we actually used some of it for backsplash in the kitchen, which is a fine application, but the potential exists, you know, when you use it in high tread areas. And I guess I would ask you to look at the little patio they put next to the museum, the Taga Museum.
Mm-hmm.
And the brick is just eroding, you know, no sooner than they had it down. So I would just make sure someone with more brick knowledge than I weighs in on the durability for that particular application.
Or we need to seal them in some way
Yeah,
to
so,
keep them. Yeah, we've broken quite a few, so
yeah.
taking them down.
Are you open to just using posts instead of columns?
What kind of posts?
I mean, just your white columns is what you have on here. Were you planning to use wood or?
It'll end up looking like wood. More than likely, it's a composite material that they put around like a 4x4.
Okay, well, yeah, I was
And
just
paint
thinking
it.
more like just plain posts, because columns would be more for, you know, an antebellum house or, you know, something before, something earlier in history.
And are you talking about square posts or circular posts?
You talking
Square
about
would
what's
be
on the
fine.
right side
I'm just
picture?
talking about like plain posts, like that's on there now, as opposed to. Do what?
You said a 4x4.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Like
just-
that right-sided picture?
You could do that, or, I mean, the ones that are in the pictures that are on it now, those are appropriate for the style of house.
Do you have any now?
Yeah, it was,
Where?
here's a picture, I'm just trying to see if I can find it. Yeah, okay. They're just painted.
Okay, thank you.
So you're also gonna extend the awning, or leave that?
The roof will cover the entire porch, yes. Because this is not original, and like I said, I thought I had taken a picture of, I could pull one up from a street view on Google of a house that's built similarly, and they have the porch, that it goes all the way across the front.
Well, original isn't the only, there's layers of history, so it's not just what was there originally that we're kind of concerned with. We're concerned with, some of the changes that were made during the period of historical significance. So while it's not original, I don't know that it's, done in the last 20 years either.
But yeah, none of it's been done in the last 20 years. No one's lived there since 1999.
So with the porch extension, are you keeping the same slope of the roof to come? The roof line, how it is now? Is that what you're wanting to do?
She wants to take the roof and cover the entire porch extension, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that doesn't tell us about the slope of the porch. Like, are you going to just enlarge the design, or are you gonna go with a different roof slope or design, or?
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood the question.
Yeah, I was
'Cause, I mean,
planning
that's
on, I was planning on keeping it the same general design as how it is now.
Okay.
It just extends all the way across. What we see there basically.
What comes out?
Well, and we're spending a lot of, this porch has been, this is the worst of the worst afterthoughts, right? That's actually a flat roof on top of that. It's hard to know. There's flat roof because this house has been, I mean, it's a beautiful house, right?
You're not gonna hurt my feelings, I promise.
But that roof right there, that is not how it ever should have ever been designed. That is not in any standard of anything. That is a flat roof on top of that porch. And so you may not have even realized this. I would highly recommend doing a simple slope roof from the front, from that back kind of eye line, if that makes sense.
So the roof in the example would be more what I was looking at doing, that, the one with the columns and the brick staircase in the front.
It's two before the picture with.
Which will better protect the visual appearance and all of that too, because then it'll drain correctly. I'm sure you guys already know that.
I guess trying to move the porch issue forward, we have do we have any issues as far as taking it out to the corner? I guess would be the first thing. Then the roof line, and then the posts. Is that kind of where we're at?
I don't have an issue with extending, doing the treks and that kind of stuff, but the roof, you're gonna obscure that window and it's gonna change the entire front facade is my concern.
Yeah, it appears you're gonna have to take the porch up into the roof, right? So it's not just gonna be able to be extended, just looking at it. I could be wrong though, but that might be what she just said, very problematic.
Well, it wouldn't be any lower than it's currently.
I think it's too low right now, to be able to be extended is what she's saying.
Well, that's just where the roof line comes down. On the inside, it is higher. But I'm hipping.
Yeah, so it's a little deceiving because the slope is dramatic because it's a flat spot at the top, right? And
Yes.
so what you're really doing is you're taking that horizontal line on the front all the way back, and then you're running that as a low slope. And so if you were able to get, and this gets into, building code as far as what the minimum low slope that you'd want to have on it. I know for asphalt shingles, you're probably not in the industry standards of that, but metal roof, you can do a lot less slope. The real question there is, hey, can you keep the front of that, just like Commissioner Taylor pointed out, high enough to where you're not obstructing the window? And that would be really your builder would have to verify that. I believe that you can based on the other pictures of the other ones, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's still extending out past the window regardless. I wasn't concerned with it, starting below the window or anything like that, but you're just obscuring that whole front facade instead of having a little, I call this a portico instead of a porch, but that's to me because it's smaller. It's just a little entry portico situation. And you're making it basically a back deck on the front porch, coming all the way out and all the way over. I just have some concerns about that.
I can try and pull up an example of the one up the street that has a similar setup.
I think what I'm hearing, the concern is that window to the side, I don't know, west of the front door with any kind of extension of that roof to accommodate a wider porch would then be more obscured. You wouldn't, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
See
yeah.
the whole vista of the window.
Right. Well, currently you can't see the window because there's that big, ugly, non-original tree.
Yeah, well, I wasn't gonna say that, so. But,
I don't
yeah.
know if it would be obstructed because it doesn't seem that it's that deep. What is it? 7 feet? It's gonna be like what? Is this the numbers I'm looking right?
I believe so.
7 deep and
7 deep.
22
Yeah.
across.
That's what I'm talking about. Like the depth of the porch doesn't seem that deep to me because it's not, I don't know. I guess I see what you're saying. It will change the face of the house.
Yeah,
It will change it.
street, it will
Yes,
change it.
it will. Yeah, so it's 7.
It'll
This
make
is
it
what-
look a whole
Right.
lot better from the street.
Yeah.
That's subjective, but yeah. I mean, and I always say, history, there's no accounting for taste in history. It just is what it was,
That is true.
I would probably say that taking the porch to the end would make it more in line with how, if it had been done correctly to start with, would have probably been what it was. And there may even be some pictures of it back when it was like that, if that makes sense. But, that again, that whole roof line above the, as we noted, that's all just been, it's a hodgepodge. So, so I guess just bringing it forward to where we're at, sounds like we're good on posts and materials. We're really now just trying to delve down on, hey, are we keeping it similar size or all the way to the
much
corner?
enlargement,
Is that where we're at?
Yeah. Well, and I do see what y'all, some of them do have that full shed porch, but I don't know that those come all the way out, to the flush. Because the style of this house is called a wing and L. You have your wing and you have your L. And if you fill in that whole front, it kind of obscures that a little bit, at least to me.
So would you be, I guess, like a couple feet off the edge, or I guess you're saying not all the way to the edge, or what is a typical of a wing and L where they put a porch on it?
I'm thinking of there's some up, not Washington. What am I thinking of? Right before the railroad tracks. Chestnut. There's some up Chestnut that are very similar to this. And do they, off the top of my head?
Some of them do.
Some of them do? All, like, does it come all the way? Because
Honestly, it's like I'm trying to think, because I do walk over there quite a bit, but it's not, this is where it gets very difficult because it's so different. It really depended on like what they had available, if they had, how big of a porch they were gonna put on it.
yeah.
right?
And some stuff was done, before there was an HPC and, yeah.
Yeah, and so and that is also, we don't know when those were added and when not, but there are some that do have it, or, that was why I was looking at the depth of it, it's 7 feet, and that's not, that's like barely that's like a tall person, right? Of a depth, so, I think if it was deeper, it would concern me, so I think that 7 feet, that's also probably why you can get the roof to slope out to cover it, if you talk to a roofer. Yeah. If you go north. Yeah. Should the house that she was thinking of.
But the,
I'm just concerned about the cost. I'm good.
I don't know, which is that house, where is that house that she showed us? That one is on.
That one's on, Northington. It's on the other side of the railroad tracks on Northington.
Near
Or like
me.
right beside.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so keep going north. I was right. Okay, I was like, cause that's like down the street from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, if you look, no, to the, where's Northington, and
That's it. No,
north-
you're going the right way.
Yep,
Right there.
right there. To the right. There you go. It'll be this house up on the left.
But see, that's not that's a,
That's not a wing and an L though.
mm-mm.
Um,
It could have been at one time before they,
but it is about the same size.
yeah, before they altered it. Yeah, it is.
It is about the same size. And so this is, that actually, if you go to the right, this is a wing and an L house. And I don't know when that was added, but
That is inappropriate.
At least I'm not asking to do that.
We can change it and then we.
No, but there are I just think it's been, this is one where it's like, they did a good job of making it look like you wouldn't know if that was added on or not, right? And that's where I struggle with this, because around town, it's so different, right? And I think that anyone who had the money to put a bigger porch on their house, put a bigger porch on their house.
Yeah.
Well, and so really the big difference is, hey, we did the carport, we wrapped
Yeah.
beyond the corner, right? So-
Yes.
So I think
Yep.
we're probably singing a similar tune of, hey, the one across the street,
Yeah,
obviously, we're we're now in the semantics of, okay, we're at least to the corner, maybe hold it back, or
Yeah.
I guess that's where we're at now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning to do railings or just leave it open? That just made me think about it.
Open.
Okay.
Whether it was open or whether there was railings really didn't seem to be consistent when I looked at different ones. And I could not find a single other portico around town, so I,
John, can you
There's
see if
some
you can
over
go
on
past it
Chestnut.
and look
Yeah,
back
there's-
and see where it goes? Go up a little, up the street and look backwards at it. Just so we can see the angle. I was curious if it, I couldn't, no, at that same porch, but.
What about,
Just a
I'm
different
seeing-
angle.
Yeah, I was curious how far it went to the corner, if that makes sense. You follow me?
Yeah.
Yeah, go up there and
Go look at my
then
house.
just look back when you pass it.
it goes up to the side of the house. It's
Is
flush.
it all the way to the,
Yeah,
okay?
it is.
okay.
It's square. It's
Okay.
square with the house, yeah.
On the other side of it.
Yeah, keep
On the
going.
other side, if
on
you keep
No,
going.
No,
Nope,
No.
keep going that,
Yeah, go
Yeah.
forward.
go a little further.
One
Yeah.
more.
See, it's,
Now look
Now
back at
rotate,
it. There
yeah.
you go.
oh, no,
Okay.
it
There you
doesn't
go.
go directly flush with it, but.
So that looks like a foot.
Yeah,
And then you have the overhang which ends perfectly, and that makes
Right.
sense, yeah.
yeah.
And that's a good example of a post too. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be completely just a, you know,
Yeah.
4x4.
Yeah.
But a full-on column is,
but to put
it'll,
some like found molding on the top and the bottom.
you can make it a little fancy, a little, what
Yeah.
do they call that? Why do I never remember?
Facial,
No, on the, like, when you have a post like that that has a little bit of,
yeah.
there's a term for it, but
I know what you're talking about.
it's after 5. It's not happening for me. I'm sorry.
I do think that this porch is a good example of what would look good and keep with the style of your home, though. I mean,
I concur.
Right?
That's done.
yeah.
All right, you've worn me down. Let's do it.
All right, thank you.
All right, does that mean you're making the motion?
Sure.
Should we go the caveat of making it look like?
Now, I make a motion to approve the porch and deck, almost as submitted, but with the caveat that it has posts instead of a column situation, and then also we approve the changing of the roof to be just a simple shed roof situation. Okay.
Thank you.
I second that.
All right, a motion and second. I didn't say it earlier, but I don't know if you're envisioning a porch swing, but, you know, which I think is a great thing, and it really is.
I have a porch swing. We specifically built a porch on our house now, so I could have a porch swing. So yes,
Yeah,
that has
and
been
that's
on my
not our
mind.
purview, but all of this discussion about the porch, I'm thinking, you know, that's going to be, in terms of dimensions and all, you really want to be able to accommodate that. So it sounds like this will. So anyway, motion is properly before us. Any further discussion on item number 3? All in favor signify by raising the right hand. Okay, it looks like that one passed unanimously. Item number 4. This one is labeled demo, but this is getting rid of that side door and porch structure. So
We already approved that in
Yeah.
with the doors.
we did.
Yeah, I was kind of
Right?
stuck with the doors, yeah.
I don't know that we approved the
So-
demo. We just approved the doors themselves, I think, or
Um,
maybe not.
yeah, so in the PowerPoint, I included both since it was in the same location. But you just did the doors. And since, demo is in its own section, I decided to separate it off just on awnings and just to see if y'all had any feedback or concerns.
And see, in the staff evaluation, you had it in the last line about the side door. So I assumed it was all in the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, so we want to remove that awning and the portico that's there, and then replace that opening with like kind to match the existing exterior.
So externally there won't be a door.
Correct.
It won't look like there was ever a door. Okay.
That is the idea, yes.
Too bad they didn't put brick there so you could reuse brick, but
Right?
it's like, like cinder block.
Any comment?
Any further discussion? I entertain a motion on item 4.
I make a motion that we approve item number 4 as submitted.
I second.
Item number 4, motion to approve as submitted has been made and seconded properly before us. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor signify by raising your right hand. That also passes 5-0. Item number 5, the driveway and walkway.
I would just like to state for the record that if we approve a circular driveway in the historic district, there will be 20 to 40 more people.
Don't we have a bunch already?
I was just about to say, we've done at least
We've done
2 in the last 3
We've already
months.
approved
Yeah.
A couple before.
And the circle would not be visible because it's on the tertiary side.
Which ones did we approve?
The one over, the one on, was it?
Across from primary.
Yeah,
Yep.
right in front of the primary school.
And then
Why
one
can I not think of that, dang it?
with
Mm-hmm.
Wetumpka.
Wetumpka, thank you.
Wetumpka.
Yeah, it's on Wetumpka. And then, but on Wetumpka, there are multiple circular driveways.
And then the other one on First Street at the corner of First and Northington. And I
Yes.
actually witnessed a wreck right there with the dentist and them backing out.
Yeah,
And so that was.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but I guess to your point, those were circular in the front yard. This is actually to circle around so it's essentially 2 driveways. I mean, we could technically just divide it, so it's not a circle lot, right?
There you go.
For Commissioner Taylor, right?
I don't care personally, but
And the materials, are they just, I know you had one, is that to me, okay.
This is what it looks like, this is what it feels like. It's made from recycled tires, but it looks like brick when it's laid down. And it's much more durable than a 100-year-old brick for driving on.
that's interesting.
And then how wide is the drive?
I think it's 12 feet is the maximum that they said, that the city said that it could be.
I would just ask you to consider on the back for your benefit, thinking ahead, if you've just got a 1 lane all the way around and more than 1 car, which most families are, then who's got to back all the way out or who's got to go on the grass to get around? So even to have a little side pocket to accommodate, and if you would like to consider that, I guess we've got to have it in our motion, and we can make the motion, I think, in a way, if the commission desires, that would accommodate that as an option for you, not bind you to it. But think about the, downstream effect of not.
So the city, I guess, said it has to be 12 feet just where it comes in, but like you said, it could get wider later.
Yeah.
So if it could be double wide, sure.
Because you definitely can't take it all the way to the back of the lot as someone who's lived on that section of,
Yeah.
it's wet most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is very squishy back there.
So, anybody want to make a motion regarding this item?
I make a motion to approve number 5 as written.
A second.
Motion and second for number 5 as written has been made. Any further discussion?
Do we need to add in what you wanted? Yes.
And Actually, I should have asked you to do that when you did it. I was fixing to slap an amendment before everybody.
I revoke my second. I think that's,
Do you, we're back to square one, so if you would like to, Ms. Irvin?
What exactly are we, with the option to go wider at the back?
No, to have just a little widening that would accommodate a car getting out of the main thoroughfare. So if there are two cars, one wouldn't have to back up when somebody wants to run to the grocery store, but they drive in that car and not that one. You know, so they can go one way, basically.
I make a motion to approve number 5 with the option to widen the driveway to make available passing vehicles at the back. In the rear, excuse me.
I second that one, for sure.
Okay, a motion and second for item number 5 with the option to have a widened area for a second parking space, if you will. It's now before us. Any further discussion on that motion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. That passes unanimously. All right, item number 6, the accessory structure. Is this going to be free-built, or your prefab, or what's your thought about or plan with that aspect?
I'm not wedded to any particular solution if the commissioners have a preference. I know there's one on 3rd Street. I'm trying to find it.
But had you discussed with your builder, or did you have anything in mind, or?
Let me find this one on 3rd Street.
Did you like the one on 3rd Street? Okay.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No, I'm just curious if it was one that you actually liked or if it was just an example, like.
Do we have a photo of the one on 3rd Street?
That's what I'm trying to
Okay.
pull it up now.
So to kind of bring, I guess, topics of discussion to light on this, there used to be, I guess, at the back of this packet, you can see the existing concrete pad. There used to be a structure there that was way beyond repair that got removed. And so that's closer to the property line. And so you're essentially just trying to get a accessory structure to replace what used to be there. And then the other part of it is, hey, what does that design look like, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I would say just my looking at these preferences, and there might be, the simple gable tends to be something that strikes me as more appropriate for the architecture of the boondoggle roof lines that you're already dealing with. Is my opinion on that.
So that's similar to the red one? The one on the left? Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the accessory structure, given that it has a, gabled roof line and is basically plain in design.
I would second that.
So y'all don't think it should match the one right over that chain link fence?
Can we just pretend we didn't see that?
All right, so we have a motion.
Hey, that one's not in the district, I don't think.
We have a motion to approve this item as the accessory structure, item 6, as presented. No, I'm sorry, with the
Gable roof line
gable roof line
and simple in design. Simple.
and simple in design. So, And that, any further discussion on that motion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Okay, and that passes unanimously. All right, item number 7. Yeah,
We're almost there, I promise.
paint.
I tried to throw as much at you as I could because I didn't want to ever have to see you guys again. No, I mean,
All right, and
We're gonna show up outside again. She's gonna put that porch swing on the back porch.
we'll have a party for y'all.
so, item 7, and I did, like I said, I went by there earlier, but that is, it's an aluminum, right? It's not vinyl, so,
Yeah, they paid extra to have it done like that, so that it would maintain for longer, but. And it's still in relatively good condition all the way around, and just that, like I said, the mold has gotten to it. Obviously, we'll wash that off as much as we can, but rust, can't really get that off without taking the paint that exists off.
and the color it says the, consistent with the rest of the structure that you actually cite. I didn't see a color.
Oh, it's whatever the color's on there now, the white.
So you just match what it is,
Yeah.
basically. Okay. Anybody want to make a motion on this one?
I make a motion that we approve item number 7 as submitted.
Second.
Item number 7, I used to have a mic that stayed on. I didn't have to punch it all the time. So, and the other chambers across the street. So anyway, item number 7, item number 7, a motion properly before us, made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. All right, that one passes unanimously. Item number 8 is the lighting.
I didn't know if that was something that needed to be approved, but
Yeah, right, because we don't want you putting up some kind of like
brass globe, yeah.
something. No, I say that tongue in cheek. No, yeah, because that's very much something that you could obviously go wild with somebody that, had certain taste. So, and there is language around that in our guidelines.
Yeah, and the picture to the right is a house off of 5th Street where they did the back porch that way. And I think the one to the right is on Chestnut, I think.
Yeah, it looks like Dr. Simmons' house.
Yeah, it is. I see somewhere you want one of those lamp posts, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right. I was like, I felt like I saw that.
Since we're gonna be digging
was
up
a
dirt
picture.
anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Any thoughts? Anybody want to make a motion?
And it's also for the mailbox style as well. I didn't know if that is an issue that comes before the commission either.
I have that mailbox.
I love the style.
It's nice.
I make a motion to approve number 8 as presented.
Second.
We have a motion second on item number 8. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. Again, that passes 5-0. So I think that was the end of this group. We had 8 total since we.
Going back through my notes, the only thing that I didn't hear us talk about was the window opening that used to be there, because you can tell that it's boarded up.
It was put in with the window.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure so that there was no,
It was
like,
written
hurt
in
feelings
there.
later.
Do we need to have any conversation around that?
That's on the back facade, correct? Or is that on the?
It's on the south side of the house. So it's on the secondary side. The north and the south are the secondary sides, and it's on the south side. So it was there
Where
at
would that window be? It would be in like the living room or the den?
the den.
The den.
But you're just going back to the original.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure because it wasn't discussed, but
yeah.
okay.
The fact that there's an opening for the window still is,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also that's very respectable of you because a lot of people would have just said they said yes and done whatever. We thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And we're sincere about that. So you can see the deliberation. We all come at this with different, background and whatnot, but we're trying to protect the integrity of the district, because if you let it get away from you, then you just don't go back. And that's why we deliberate and have the guidelines as our framework, and we really do appreciate you being respectful of that and wanting to do what's right. So that's not always the experience we have with petitioners. So again, I will second your accolades in that regard. So that that concludes our business with you and your petition. They will issue the appropriate paperwork, certificate of appropriateness to give you something for your files. So,
Well, I thank everyone very much.
yeah, and thank you for undertaking this project, because it raises the whole district.
Yes. Very excited.
So are you keeping that tree?
No, remember we talked about this. We want to see the windows.
It's not indigenous either, is
No.
it? Yeah, I was like, no, it's
No.
one of those awful, yeah, it needs to,
It's not quite a popcorn tree, but it's equally hateful.
yeah, yeah.
All right, so next on our agenda, we've got miscellaneous. Is there anything for miscellaneous from staff? Yeah, that's a separate, at least as listed, separate. So I'm just going down what's on the, and so expedited review. Anything you wanted to share with us? I know we had a couple of shingle, roof replacements. Sally and I discussed, but they were like for like. So we've got bylaws review, and these are our annual housekeeping things. Bylaws review and election of officers. So the bylaws, I think, were included in the mail out of the packet. Is there any discussion regarding the bylaws? And I guess this is our opportunity to make changes. In terms of history, the last change, which was a significant one last year, was to have the attendance requirement for commissioners. So we built, was it 2 years already? So built that in. So, yeah. So fortunately, all my commissioners are still with us. So, but is there any thought about, do we
have rollover on the absence that, kind of like cell phone minutes that we can use for?
For previous, staff can get in
Just miss a whole bunch.
He has too many parties. So.
No, it's like your FSA, you use it or lose it.
There you go.
So, any thoughts in that regard? Does staff have any suggestions? Anything? I'm not aware of anything.
I just want to say that I think putting the absences clause in our bylaws has really helped. I mean, when's the last time we had to cancel a meeting because not enough commissioners could come?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a while, so that's all.
Thank you for that comment. So the next is election of officers. I as chair and co-chair are 1 year term, so that is an agenda item each year. So if anyone is interested in either of those positions,
Wait, what? I wasn't paying attention.
do you want to be chairman?
Oh, no.
I don't.
Didn't Commissioner McKay say he wanted to be president? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't remember. Yeah, yeah, y'all talk about me when I'm not here. So, but I am more than happy to turn the gavel over if there's anybody else interested in being chairman. I have enjoyed it. I've learned a lot. I enjoy working with each and every one of you, and it's just been, I like doing this. So, and I look forward to working with you as well. Is Irvine or Irvin?
We say Irvine.
Irvine. Well, I want to say what you say. So look forward to working with you. Would you like to be chair? So I guess we need to have motion and vote on the chair and vice chair. Are you interested in continuing?
I was about to say, basically everything you said, it's great, I enjoy it, but if anyone else wants to do it, that's fine too.
You got this.
I make a motion that we continue the roles of chair and vice chair as we did last year.
I second that.
All right, a motion before us to maintain the current chair and vice chair. And is there any further discussion on that? All in favor signify by raising your right hand. And that passes unanimously. Okay, well, thank you. And again, welcome, Mr. Irvine. And thank you, staff. I know you're doing a great job with the absence of the city planner. I look forward to continuing to work with y'all, and I look forward to when we have a new city planner. So getting to know that person will be fun.
I'm sure y'all are looking forward to it too. A little bit
Yeah.
off y'all's plate.
So if there's nothing else, we stand adjourned.